Hey, hello. It is the Go Birds podcast presented by the Bet Park Sportsbook and Casino app. Eliot Shorr-Parks, James Seltzer with you. What up, E?
What up?
How you doing, pal?
The
in the
week,
studio.
Yeah, we're in the studio.
Check us out on
good.
YouTube.
You can come look at us. Yeah.
Yes, make fun of us.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to do.
Why else would you come?
That's right. Yeah.
In the spirit of last pod. So it's so funny. So recording.
Full circle.
A full circle moment. Recording that live, I was so sure I didn't say it.
I know.
Even when people started tweeting, I was like, nah, they probably just misheard too. But then Tucker sent us the audio or the video clip, and I was like, all right, yeah, fine. I said it.
Yeah, I had to admit it.
I'll cop up.
Yeah,
I'll admit it. Yeah.
Welcome.
So it was it's all right. You know, a little mishap.
It happened. I thought it was the funniest part of the pod.
Well, people seem to think it was.
Yes, shout out to everyone.
Analyze Eagles for 45 minutes, and yeah, it's good.
Nothing else matters. Yeah, it's like the Eagles stuff is secondary.
How was your bye week?
It was good, buddy. Yeah.
It was weird not to have anything to do.
I know. Well,
like, I watch football.
I had a kids' party to go to, so nice. I had less than nothing to do.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Well, it was probably fun.
Sure.
Fun-ish.
Yeah.
Fun
we'll
enough.
go with it. Yeah, sure.
It was a nice weather day out.
No, it was actually inside. So
it didn't matter.
It was freezing out, so I'm happy it wasn't outside. Yeah.
I'm happy it's cold.
I know you are.
Yeah.
You're ready for the cold.
I'm not meant for summer clothes. It's not my strength. My strength.
All clothes when it comes.
Yeah. Well, it's literally everything it's what you wear when you leave the house. So
sure.
Yeah.
But isn't it? Shouldn't it matter how you like your comfort?
But if you dress properly, the weather, and if you think about it, actually, you can combat the cold way easier than the heat.
I'm with you. Look, I prefer the cold too.
Yeah.
it has nothing to do with what my clothes.
I feel like you like hoodies and.
I like
yeah,
warmth.
exactly.
Yes,
coats,
but
layers.
again, there's a big key difference here. I like it strictly for how I feel physically because of it. Nothing to do with how I feel about how I look in it.
Well, what do you think you look better in?
Don't care.
I think you look better in hoodies.
Do I? Okay.
Yeah,
so I literally don't care. Like,
you wear t-shirts well, I will say.
Do I?
Yeah, you do.
I'm gonna start caring more.
Yeah. We'll start every pod breaking down what James is gonna wear.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, it's the bye week. What else are we gonna do?
I miss the Eagles when they don't play, though.
I know you do.
Yeah.
It's part of your like routine. You know, you kind of need it.
I was listening to so Spike Eskin had Angelo Cataldi on, and he was on the morning show and talked about this.
That you're talking about?
Yeah, exactly. They're old, yeah. But he was on the Rights Ricky Sanchez podcast, the second biggest Sixers podcast in the city.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah.
I only listen to Clap Your Hands. It's the only Sixers podcast.
Exactly.
Yes.
But
where's Angelo on this pod? Angelo, come on, man. We'll help you sell your book. Come on, buddy.
I want to read the book. Yeah. Book looks good. But anyway, so he was talking about how like in this profession, like you get into it and it like consumes your whole life in a way where because you love it and it's your job. And so I feel like a lot of people have things they love and they have their job and like this job meshes that. But I just miss when the Eagles don't play. Like I miss like tweeting with people. I miss like taking the calls, previewing the game. I miss doing the post game pod. I miss the reaction. So it was nice to have a day off.
So it wasn't nice. You're just lying.
But like, yeah. Well, it's nice to have time.
I enjoy a day off.
Yeah, but I do too. But I don't know. I just love when the Eagles play. So I'm happy they're back. And also, I'll say that with this game coming up, man. So I did all my Chiefs research yesterday.
Oh, look at you.
I'm so excited for this game.
Welcome back.
Well, I think like I knew it was going to be a big game, but now that it's here,
and you're like ripping me for it. Yeah. You're like, oh, why do you care about winning this one so much?
Well, it's a big game. I mean, again, I think they still would rather win the Cowboys game.
Of course, but logically, but this one matters more to my soul.
Yes.
Maybe not than the Cowboys. Dallas.
I mean, this is at Kansas City Super Bowl rematch. Taylor Swift may be there. It's going to be a big one.
Well, so I mean, if we want to be honest, the person who has the most riding on this game is Taylor. I mean, it's pretty clear.
So should we just get into that?
Let's do the Taylor thing.
Okay.
Why not? Yeah, sure. Before we talk football. I mean, like.
I have a Jason Kelsey
So she's going to wear Chiefs gear. We all know it.
You think so?
Yeah. And I think it's a massive mistake.
I do too.
I think it's a huge mistake by her.
So it's an interesting discussion because it's like I'm sure we have people that listen to the pod where like let's say they're Eagles fans, obviously if they're listening, but maybe they married a significant other that's dating someone that's like from Northern Jersey and they're Giants fans or something.
It's tough.
Like I think that it's okay for your significant other to bend a little, but I think if you're Taylor Swift, like. You can't really bend here. Like
you're an Eagles fan.
Yeah, like and also it's a massive public figure.
Married to Travis Kelce.
Well, they're gonna get married. Just to be clear, I said this from day one.
I know. They've been dating for like a couple months.
That's not a short time.
Right, but you don't
at this
give up
age.
your lifetime fandom in 2 months.
Well, it comes up like, what do you pick? Like, do you pick your fandom or your support for your significant other?
If it's your child, sure, you root for your child. A guy you've been dating for a couple months, you gotta stick with your original.
I don't
if
think
they do get married down the road. All right,
I don't think the timeline matters here.
Of course it does.
Like,
it matters.
I think at the beginning,
how long has she been an Eagles fan? How long has she been with Travis Kelce? Boom.
Well, it also matters how big of an Eagles fan is she really.
See, well,
that's a good question
what this whole brings
too.
into account.
Yeah,
like it's the whole thing. Like,
well,
if she's a real Eagles fan, like a true blue Eagles fan, there is no way she shows up in Chiefs gear.
I agree. So I agree with that.
Yeah.
I think like and it's okay if she's not, but if she watched the Super Bowl and was like sad they lost, I don't think you can wear Chiefs gear.
I agree. And again, that's the thing. I think
to the game, like if you want to wear it other games, like I even think
fine.
that probably.
I think that's, but that's
right.
Fine.
Right.
It's the Birds, and it's a Super Bowl rematch, and we all got our hearts broken against this team. No.
Well, here's
Taylor,
the other.
No.
Here's
your
the
whole
other part.
Philly
of it.
legacy, your whole thing is riding on this.
Yes.
I'm just letting you know.
I think Travis and Jason Kelce feel like someone that would appreciate the bit of wearing an Eagles jersey. You see what I'm saying? Like,
I agree with you.
Now, I do think Chiefs fans would be mad at her about it.
Whatever.
I'm just saying.
Just met her.
I
We've
agree.
known her forever.
True. So I think the ultimate.
She sang at the Eagles, the Phillies game, all that stuff. Come
the
on.
ultimate thing you do here, and I've said this from day one, and it's the obvious answer. You wear a Jason Kelce jersey.
Yep. That's it.
It's the ultimate one.
It's
you wear
the move.
Or maybe like her and Donna Kelce wear like
half jersey.
Yeah.
That's not his thing.
The Kelce one would be a tremendous
Donna's
joke.
thing.
Like it would be like endear you to her brother.
I think
because that's the other part of it too.
I think
like
the best move she can do is wear Jason Kelce.
Yes, because
like that is it. And look, Taylor's very good at this stuff.
She's very good. Yeah.
Usually knows what to do. Like, I hope someone from her crew is listening to this.
Yeah.
Because Eliot Shorr-Parks,
I think it's
just gave you the only home run move she has.
Everybody would love it.
Even Chiefs fans.
Her
like,
fans
you know
would
what?
love it. Exactly.
You know
Yeah.
what? That's our
Yeah.
guy's
It's good.
brother.
It's good.
Eliot,
Endears you to the family. I think,
arguably the best idea you've ever had in this
thank you.
series podcast.
We finally found my niche.
No one could get upset with this. Like,
Yeah.
someone will find a way to yell at you about this, but they're wrong to yell at you about
So
it.
here's the last bit of take I have on this. Well, for this pod, unless it comes back up.
Oh, yeah.
But
wait, you're saying you're saving for your other pods? Is that the one?
well, maybe I'll just
You're gonna
start
clap your hands. You're
yeah.
start dropping the
Eagles,
thing?
Taylor Swift.
I get it.
Pod.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Well, I meant unless it comes back up again. But what I was gonna say was this: is that I saw something on the internet today. And I think we're like overlooking this. If they get married, or when they get married, is Jason Kelce the best best man speech you can think of? Like, think of Jason Kelce giving a best man speech. He's emotional. He's not afraid of the moment. He's funny. Like, him and Travis are really close.
He's giving great speeches.
The
before.
best man, he could give what might be the best man speech in the history of best man speeches. And I'm pretty good at it.
Stuff,
but,
right?
like, imagine his best man speech.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Maybe I'll get an invite.
I don't think you will.
I don't think I will either.
No. Maybe I will.
I would put the chance.
Maybe we do a little chugging.
Well, that's a good point, actually. I think between us, first of all, I was going to say we have to make a promise if one of us gets an invite that.
A significant other. Yeah, you would be
it'd be tough not to bring Kristen.
It'd be tough not to bring Emily.
I don't think Emily would be into it.
Of course
is she into the whole Taylor Swift thing?
Emily loves weddings more than anyone
That's
but
true.
maybe you.
Okay.
Like, Emily and I love weddings together. It's our favorite activity together.
I would put and you guys did have a ton of, it looked like a ton of fun.
We brought it, your whole wedding, where everyone's like, wow, they're still dancing. It's like, we're still.
You guys stayed out late. You came to the after party.
Bring it. Yes,
very in love. It was awesome to say. But I think there's like a 2% chance I'm at the wedding. And the 2% would really.
I think there's a 0% chance.
Well, the 2% would be if they allow media outside of it.
Ah, okay. So you could be outside.
Yeah. Well, that would still be cool. See the invite. Yeah. I think Jason would like, but it's not his wedding. I guess actually.
There's no way.
You have a better chance of a legit invite.
Yeah, I have.
Then again, actually, he doesn't make the invite.
I probably have a 0.00001%, and you have a 0.0002%. I think that's where we're at right now. Yeah.
No, I think you have a better chance actually. Now I think about it. Well, unless the media part. Anyway.
My favorite part about this is that you have thought about
it. Oh,
this.
I'm so into it.
All right. Let's talk some birds.
Yeah. People, I don't think she's going to be at the game.
She's the most famous person in the world.
Yeah.
Right? You know?
I mean, it changed Jason's life forever, too. Do you think I can ask?
They're so famous now. It's crazy.
Do you think I can ask Jason if Taylor's going to be there?
Sure.
You think it's like, he's probably like, I don't want to talk about it anymore? Or
no, I honestly, and getting to know Jason, well. I wouldn't say great, whatever, but getting to know him a little bit over the last
I would say Jason.
I know Jason.
Yeah.
I think he enjoys that stuff more than he enjoys talking about football.
I would agree with that.
I think he loves talking about anything, like whether it's a hot dog, a sandwich, is it like anything fun that he can discuss and have fun with and debate. I think he actually enjoys it more.
Should I ask him what Taylor should wear?
Sure.
Or is that like
you could say, hey, I think she should wear your jersey. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's a good one.
Yeah.
All right.
And then maybe the earworm. It's like, oh, yo, Elliot had a great idea, Trav. Let me tell you. You know Elliot. He's the one who does the pop with Schlitzy.
You were at the summer event. He was there.
He was there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonder if she'll be there next summer.
Oh,
imagine.
Buddy.
Imagine.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
It is. It's
really cool.
It's pretty crazy that it's gone this long.
Here's a recommendation before we get into football.
We're going to be like 55 minutes
I know.
in. All right, we'll talk to you guys next
Well, I'll
week.
tell you this. There are some Eagles fans that really don't like the Taylor Swift thing. They're really not going to like the first 10 minutes
I'm very
of this
sorry
pod.
to those people.
Also, get into love if, you know.
Yeah, also, like, who cares?
Yeah.
Like, is it really...
So
is it really hurting your soul that
There's a
much
really good documentary that came out recently about David Beckham. It's really good. I would recommend it if you're not into soccer. It's very good. But Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift are the new David Beckham and Posh Spice.
Sure.
Just remember you heard it here first.
I think it's a good comp.
Yeah.
I like that.
I also think, this is really the last thing.
You're really on it, right?
If you're, I texted you this. I'll say it on the pod. I think it's going to get to the point where Travis Kelce is distracted by this. I don't see how you can be this level of fame, have this on your side,
Argentina
and still be like really into getting hit and playing football.
I agree with you.
So I think there will be a point where I think he might retire earlier because of this than he would have otherwise.
And you know what? Good for him.
Distracted. Yeah. Oh, for him, for sure. Yeah.
Like, look, we're seeing a lot of guys retire earlier. I mean, that's kind of crazy.
He's already a Hall of Fame guy.
He's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
He's made tons of money. And now he can start his second act. He's going to have a great take. He's going to be one of those famous people in the world. But
yeah,
and he's going to be in movies. He's going to be like whatever he wants to do, he could do that.
100%.
Yeah.
And he has love, and that's really all that matters.
Or he's got a career, one or the other.
Well, that kiss they had was pretty legit. I've watched every single version of that.
So I didn't know they kissed. I didn't.
Oh
see
my
it.
God, where have you
is
been?
this a big deal?
Yeah. She ran off stage and kissed him. Did you hear that she changed the lyrics?
I heard she changed the lyrics.
Okay,
I saw
all right.
someone.
Right.
So
this is my bye week. Thank God the Eagles didn't play. This is why the Eagles need to play.
What would you have done if you couldn't have focused so much on the
my Eagles analysis would have been bad. Yeah.
How many times have you watched a kiss?
Well, Instagram's feeding it to me quite a bit, so I would say I've probably seen it 50 times.
No.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Conservatively.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
It's good.
You're not on Instagram, so you don't.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
No, I'm not regretting it.
Well, you're missing out.
This exact.
If you want when we get off, I can show you the kiss.
Oh, great, thank you.
And then we'll see if you really think they're in love.
Okay, good. All right,
Okay.
let's talk some birds.
Okay. Actually, Tucker, pull the kiss up on your phone at the end of the pod. I want to show it to him, and you can say whether you think it seems like they're really in love.
It's a great call. Okay. I love your love of love.
Yeah.
You've always been
I want to see
big
people
supporter.
happy. Travis looks like he deserves to be happy.
I agree.
And he looks
seems
happy.
like a great guy.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll talk birds by way of not really talking birds.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what we actually saw football-wise
Yes.
and how it relates to the birds.
Yes.
Obviously, as far as the bye week goes, about as bad as it could have gone for the Eagles. Not unexpected. I expected the three teams to win their games.
Well, I will say,
did.
though, I picked the Jags, so I was wrong there.
Yeah.
But I think the Chargers and the Jags were two opponents that, in theory, could have won those games.
In theory, I think the Chargers are bad. I think the Chargers.
Yeah, but it's in Los Angeles.
The Chargers play no defense. Like they are not a good team. But again, the point is, I expected the Lions to win that football game. It was closer. I thought they covered 3.5. They didn't. But the point being that, look, all three of the teams that are competing with the Eagles in the AFC got wins. Two of them got big wins. At least. I mean, like throw the Dallas one out the window.
Yeah, the Giants are an embarrassment
Tommy DeVito's the worst.
football.
He's actually the worst. Well, there have been so many times this year I've been like, well, Zach Wilson's the worst quarterback I've ever seen. This guy's the worst quarterback. Tommy DeVito is actually, truly the worst quarterback I have ever seen in an NFL game. Luke Falk was brought up this week. We all remember the 8-sack, 9-sack game against the Jets. He would be in the running. I think Tommy DeVito is worse than Luke Falk. I think he's the worst quarterback I've ever seen.
So I know they're on their third-string quarterback, but we've talked about this where, like, a backup quarterback really reveals the health of your franchise. And I think Giants fans are going to trick themselves into thinking it was injuries. Like Saquon missed time, Daniel Jones missed time, Tyrod Taylor missed time. Like,
no, your roster's a disaster.
The roster is bad.
Your GM's bad. Your coach is bad. Your everything's bad.
Like, Tommy DeVito is bad for sure.
Like, Dable might not be
not
bad.
the point.
Everything else is bad.
I don't know, man.
I think he might be. I said he was. He might be. But either way, I'm not sure he's bad. Everything else, I'm sure is bad.
Well, I think the issue with the Giants is and if we were a Giants pod, my take would be you might have to fire him. Like, you might have to, like, just remove the stink of this whole thing. Just putting that out there.
I don't think they would ever do that.
I mean, Jeffrey Lurie has shown, like, you are better off firing a coach early than late.
Right,
like,
but I think Dable, I mean, look, I think Dable's still a good coach. I think Joe Shane's the big problem.
I agree. I think he's
they're,
bad.
They're Mr. Bill's GM guy who came in. I can't believe I let it go.
I know. Go ahead.
Would you? So many people tweet us. And
we've had lots of people.
First freaking thought when the Bills lost.
To
the Denver Broncos.
Yeah.
Would you like to apologize to me for when I said the Bills were not that good? And you're like, oh, top 5 teams.
Yeah. So all right.
Would you like to apologize?
Well, I'm not going to apologize. No.
I would appreciate an apology.
You were more right than I was. I mean, I would still not want to play the Bills, but watching them last night. So we talk about this with Jalen so much. The Eagles are a good winning team because Jalen is a good winning player. Jalen's smart with the ball for the most part, so the Eagles don't have turnover problems. Your team takes on the personality of your quarterback. Josh Allen is a sloppy quarterback, so the Bills are a sloppy team. Like, that's what you saw last night. Like, to have 12 men on the field in that situation
is
unacceptable.
Honestly, Sean McDermott should probably be fired.
I agree
after
with you.
That game.
But
that's an embarrassment.
But I also think it comes from the top. Like, Josh Allen is the top of that team. He's more important than Sean McDermott. That dude is reckless with the football. So I do believe.
They're like, if he could do that, I'll do this. Yeah.
I think they're a team that on their best day is capable of being any team in the NFL, which I don't think you can say that for most teams. But yes, they are not as good as I thought.
Thank you.
Yes. I knocked them out of my top 5.
What the 5-5 Bills are?
I knocked them out of my top 5.
That's good. I'm happy they
Yeah.
finally fell out. Yeah.
Well, the Bengals might be the next one.
I know. Well, at least the Bengals. Yeah. I mean, look, at least the Bengals. I think the Texans are better than
Texans are good.
The Broncos. So
CJ Stroud,
legit. Yet again, what a victory lap for us.
He might be like, if there was a draft of quarterbacks, I don't know, man.
Whoever has the top pick next year, just listen to the Go Birds Pop. We'll tell you to draft, okay? Because we're right every year at the quarterback.
Well, it's definitely Caleb Williams.
I don't know. We'll see.
We'll decide, but I'm pretty sure.
I mean, like, I think it might be Drake May right now. Like, I'm not saying I would pick Drake May, but I think if the draft happened today, I think Drake May goes 1.
Oh, I disagree. I think Caleb Williams is going 1.
Maybe.
I would put it at minus 1,200. Dude, a
People
quarterback from Duke.
People love Drake May.
I don't know, man.
I wouldn't take him.
Yeah.
I would take Caleb Williams.
Caleb's been the guy for a while.
I know, but he's been struggling, man. And his team's not that good.
Agreed.
I mean, they're bad, flat out bad.
Yeah, they are, but
bad strong. They're average.
If I'm that GM, I am not overthinking it. You take Caleb Williams. But
maybe.
But anyway.
Seems like he might be a loser.
I do think one thing that shows off from watching the Bills versus Eagles is our concerns about their like sloppiness and their penalty. Like, the Bills are truly a team that have those problems.
Oh yeah.
The Eagles, like, turnovers have been fluky and stuff, but like the turnovers the Bills had last night, like, that's a team with turnover problems.
Mm-hmm.
So look, they play them in 2 weeks. Justin from Tennessee is going to be here, so the chances they lose are slim. But
again, it's a bad spot. They have the Chiefs Monday night, short week. Niners game coming up after. Like, we just know the Eagles players have circled that game. Everyone's talked about it. We've all talked. The Niners players have circled it. Like, no matter what. And it really is. I mean, the best 2 teams in the NFC, at least according to most people. I think most people would put Dallas 3rd, especially after this past weekend with the Niners. So I think that Niners game, like, that's a lot of juice for that game. This Bills game against a mediocre Bills team right now, sandwiched in between these 2 games. I think schedule-wise, it's a tough spot.
So I actually think the Lions are the second best team in the NFC.
Well, I mean, they probably are.
I would go Eagles, Lions, Cowboys, Niners.
I think most people would go Eagles, Niners is what I'm
saying.
Agreed.
Yeah, for sure. Well, do you see the Niners? I haven't looked this morning. They have a better chance of odds of winning the Super Bowl than the Eagles.
Yeah, which is dumb.
But
I think the Niners, I still think if I had to, like, you know, my life's on the line and I have to order the teams and how I want to beat them in order to keep my life, I do think the more I watch the Niners, I just think their best game is better than Dallas's best game.
I agree with that.
And better than Detroit's best game.
I agree. I do agree with that.
And I think a team's best game is what it would take to beat the Eagles in a big spot. So I think the Niners scare me the most.
So I think of it in a different way. I think of it as, what's the team the Eagles could play the worst and still beat? Like, I think the Eagles could
I think that's the Lions.
It's probably the Lions, and it's probably the Niners. I think that the team I want to play the least is probably the Cowboys. Even though they choke in the playoffs and all those things.
Yeah,
but
Detroit would probably be last for me of the 3 in terms of who I want to play. I think Detroit is the biggest threat to the 1 seed. I think they're the most likely team to end up with the 1 seed if it's not the Eagles based on their schedule.
Right.
And their schedule is insanely easy.
It's very easy. And that's why I think the Chargers win was a big one for them because it was one of their toughest games.
Yeah,
They have them and the Cowboys
that's the point.
left.
It's one of their toughest games.
Yeah.
So.
And I do think going to LA to play the Chargers, well, I agree with you, they're not that great.
It was more Lions fans there than Chargers fans.
But the Lions are still learning how to, I don't know.
I know they
Regardless.
are. But again, I don't, look, it's not an quote unquote easy win, but it's certainly not a hard win.
Agreed.
It's
Agreed.
like a mediocre
it's not a hard win.
It's a mediocre win. It's like, honestly, I think the Vikings are better than the Chargers.
Well, Josh Dobbs.
I mean, they are better. Record-wise, they're better, but I think they're definitively better.
Yeah,
that's my point.
Agreed. But
I think that's the level the Chargers are at. And they're not a playoff team. The Vikings
I think one of my main takeaways from the weekend was, so when the Eagles beat the Cowboys, I said I think the Eagles are going to win the Super Bowl. I would still be my pick. I still feel confident in it. If my confidence level of them winning the Super Bowl was like, let's say 100 before, I will say this weekend probably knocked me down to like.
Why though? That's weird. I mean, I think 100 was crazy a week ago.
Well, I'm just using a number. Like, let's say it was 90. Here's what changed for me this weekend. If it's not the Niners,
because the Niners are the only thing that changed this weekend. Detroit did exactly what I thought they were going to do. Dallas did exactly what I thought they were going to do.
So here's what changed.
And I thought the Niners were going to beat the Jags. I just didn't think they'd whoop them like that.
Right. So what changed for me this weekend was, one, the Niners played better than I expected.
Okay, so
that's part of it. Yeah, it's that. Two, I know we just discuss the quality of the win. Like, the Lions winning that game is another step in the wrong direction for the Eagles getting the 1 seed.
Well, sure, but again, I'm just not that scared.
And three, and this is on me, but Joe Giglio made this point. I think it's a really good one. The Cowboys have easy games until the Eagles won.
So, kinda, but then the Cowboys
have Panthers.
But the Cowboys have tough ones after.
They do.
The Eagles have easy ones. The Cowboys have the Bills, the Dolphins. Like, they still have games there.
100%. But there's more of a chance than
if you actually put the record of the teams, and it's because the Eagles still have Arizona on there, but like the Eagles actually have, I think it's 36 and 39 of the opponents for the Eagles. I think it's 41 and 33 for Dallas opponents. So Dallas's opponents actually have a better winning percentage.
The Eagles. Which is not surprising when you consider the last
Arizona
3 games.
And Giants. Yeah, but that matters. The Eagles have 3 wins just there at the end of the season.
I think there is a better chance than I initially thought that Dallas game, which by the way, come to Dallas with us. Fans of Philly still can make it happen. I mean, that could be for the division lead. Now, granted, the Eagles could go 3-0 after that, so it might not matter. But they have the Panthers and
they have an easy schedule.
I think the Commanders, right? So they'll go
on Thanksgiving.
So they'll probably go 2-0. They have how many losses right now? 3?
3.
Okay, so if the Eagles go 2-1 in these next 3, which I think that's probably what they'll go actually, because I don't think they're going to beat the Chiefs, but I think if they go 2-1, like that game will be it'll be close because they'll be 1-1 on the season.
But they get tied. But then it comes out the
division record.
Well, it depends who the Eagles lose to, because as of right now, the Eagles' loss is an AFC loss, which helps.
Right.
Whereas Dallas has 2 NFC. I mean, now 1 would come. So Dallas has a loss to Arizona, and who was their other loss besides the Eagles?
It was the Niners.
All right, so they have 3 NFC losses. The Eagles have none.
Right. So that would help them. Yeah.
Tiebreaker.
So that's actually that's good news. Yeah. But yeah, I felt the Eagles were going to run away with the 1 seed. This weekend, to me, it feels like it's not as much of a lock.
I did not think the Eagles
Well, I'm just saying, right, for me.
Right, yeah. So that's why we have different reactions. Yeah. I did not expect the Eagles to run away with the 1 seed. Detroit has always been there. I've said for a while now, I think Detroit's the biggest threat to the 1 seed, and I still think they are. Detroit's a really easy schedule.
They do, and they're good. They're good.
Yeah.
But, man, I
think Detroit's going to go 13-4 or 14-3, but probably 13-4.
I just don't, Well, I think if the Eagles lose to the Chiefs on Monday, then they would be able to lose no more games.
Yeah, good thing they're not going to, so it's fine.
Right. Well, there you go.
They're going to handle it.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm worried about that game.
I know you are.
I don't feel like when they were going into the Super Bowl, and you know this about me, I was like pretty sure they were going to lose that game. Right? I don't feel that strong, but I think a lot of the things that were an issue going into that Super Bowl are going to be issues again.
I just don't think the Chiefs are that great this year. I think they're fine. I think their defense is better than it was last year.
Their defense is good.
Yeah, the defense is good.
But good thing is defense doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Well, pick and choose.
I mean, their wide receivers are abominable. I mean, it's tough, and Mahomes has not been as good as he was last year. Like,
yeah, Mahomes is like career low in a lot of things.
Yeah,
passer rating, interception percentage is high up. Yeah, but they move the ball and score points.
Sure, they do, but not as well as the Eagles do.
No, I agree. The Eagles have a better offense.
I think the Eagles are better. I think
the Eagles have a better
football team, and I think that. I'm big on motivation, ebbs and flows. And granted, the Andy Reid bye thing matters, but Nick's been good off the bye too.
Yeah.
I just think the Eagles want this game a lot more. Like, I just think this is where like the Eagles come into this game. Jalen Hurts had it on his lock screen. Like,
I agree,
these
they
guys
won it.
lost
Yeah.
the Super Bowl. These guys. I think for the Chiefs, it's like, yeah, big game. Let's beat the Eagles, whatever. I think for the Eagles, it's like, we have to win.
So
like, I think there is a imperative there where it's like, we have to win this football game. And I think that's the reason I'm a little nervous about that Bills game, because I think they're going to put their heart and soul into winning on Monday night. And I think with San Francisco on the back end, I think they might lose that Bills game to a much less good Bills team.
Which would be ironic since
but again,
you were right about the Bills, but that would be funny if the
think,
Eagles.
What have I said all year long? My biggest thing this year is the ebb and flow of schedules.
Yeah.
Is looking at the schedule and looking at the NFL and the way the NFL has worked recently and saying, all right, there's a letdown spot, or this is a spot where this team really needs, I think they're going to win this, whatever. And it's not always working, but I do think this specific one is a clear one where it's like, I think this Chiefs game is huge for the Eagles, and I think that Niners game is huge for the Eagles. I think the Bills game is like, sure, whatever.
So Jordan Mailata was on the Players Lounge last night, and
he talked about how much it matters to him.
Well, did you hear the clip?
I didn't hear it, but I saw the quote. It's personal, right? He's taking it personal.
I was taken, like, from being there, like, it's one of those things where I think when you hear the quote, it sounds good. Like, it's like, wow. When you hear him say it, it's like, wow. Seeing him in person say it, like, I was taken aback. And, like, so was Ike. I was surprised at Ike's reaction. Ike was like, I mean, obviously you're watching on YouTube, you can see it, but he made, like, a face, like, wow. Like, so he said straight up, like, it is personal for him.
Good. It should be. They lost the Super Bowl. I want to keep on this personal thing real quick, though. Well, download the BetParks Sportsbook and Casino app. I mean, seriously.
Yeah. Well, it's that time of the year.
Yes. Now, don't follow our picks from this last week. Hopefully not. It was
Did you see our record?
Bad week.
Not a good week.
We're on
a bit of a downswing.
Bit of a lull. Yeah. But you know what?
The league is weird this year.
I know. Yeah. And you know what the lulls mean? It just means that there's nowhere to go but up.
It's a good point.
All right?
Actually, start following our picks now.
That's right. Now the rise.
Now is the time to follow the
Here's
picks.
The beautiful thing. More than anything, whether you win or lose, it's just so much fun to have action on these games. These games are so much fun to watch. We're watching them anyway. Throw a little money on it with the BetParks app, and bang, you're having so much more fun. Plus, basketball, all kinds of basketball action to bet on. In-season tournament game tonight.
You have to tell me.
Boston tomorrow
Two
night.
big games. Boston,
games.
Back-to-back unfair, but big ones.
Well, that's the NBA.
Well, I'm saying to have the big in-season tournament game and the big Boston game back-to-back.
One of those is a big game.
Both big.
It's certainly not the in-season tournament game. Could not care less about that dumb tournament. But
big game.
Bet on it, and that's a beautiful thing. And I will say, maybe the players take it more seriously, and that way you make some money on it. Probably not, because it's a stupid tournament that no one cares about.
Well, true competitors are taking it seriously.
But the beautiful thing is you can have fun with the app, and again, you can bet on all this stuff. You can bet on individual player performances, points, rebounds, assists. You can bet on who's going to score touchdowns, all the good stuff. And here's a great deal for new users. If you sign up right now, you make your first bet a winning $10 bet. You get $125 in sportsbook bonus back. It's a great deal. The website has all the details at betparks.com. You must be 21 and present in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Ohio, or Maryland. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
So we talked about at the beginning of the pod. Temperatures are dropping rapidly, which means two things.
Way too rapidly.
Yeah, rapidly. Agreed. Two things. One, James is looking good in his hoodie. And two, energy costs are on the rise. And
more importantly.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, I don't know. If you have old drafty windows, your furnace is working harder than ever to keep your family warm. And man, let me tell you, Kristen keeping the heat on 70 in the house, I can really tell how good the windows are because it is hot in that house.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Can't wear those hoodies in the house, huh?
No, which I'm not happy about. Window Nation wants to help this month with 0% financing for 5 years, plus 2 free windows with every 2 you buy. Now is the time to protect your family from the elements, lower your energy costs, and upgrade the look and feel of your home. As interest and mortgage rates continue to climb, Window Nation is still keeping 0% interest for 5 years, which is wild. I think I saw mortgage rates are in like the 7s still.
It's crazy.
Thank God I already own. But they also said I guess it's true with Windows too. It's actually a good time to buy because you can refinance later, but costs are gone.
That is the move right there.
If only I had the money to buy multiple properties.
That's right.
But you do have money to buy multiple windows because you get 2 free for every 2 you buy, and you get 0% interest for 5 years. So obviously, look, if you listen to the pod, you know it's no secret. They're friends of the pod. They're friends of Jalen Hurts. Window Nation is the place to buy your windows. That's windownation.com. 866-90-NATION. And when you go to Window Nation and you go, Window Nation, what's up? I'm here to get windows. Go Bird sent me.
Boom.
You could even say James and Elliot. That would be a nice touch. But Go Birds will work.
Yeah, either or. Yeah. As long as, you let them know that it was us.
Yeah.
It
would be a nice touch.
It would be a nice touch for us.
It would help us out.
It would make us look good.
And you get the windows. we get the benefit of helping you get the win.
Yeah, we get the attaboy.
Cachet.
A little attaboy.
That's not the right word.
I know. Yeah, cachet a little bit.
Little bit.
A little cachet in the Windows Nation world.
But
more an attaboy. I mean, hey, guys, nice job. That's all we want. Elliot and I are suckers for an attaboy.
Big attaboys.
If you just come and say, hey, great job, we're going to be like, can I do more for you? What can I do? You want me to run the wall for you? I'll do that right now. Like, just tell me I did a good job, and I will die for you. Literally.
Exactly.
So we're easy like that, you know?
It's good.
Some people need a kick in the
Live
ass.
life
Elliot
with
and I need a
reinforcement.
little pat on the ass.
I forget what we were talking about, but I do have another take.
We were talking about taking the game personal.
Oh, yeah.
And how shocking it was to see Joe Mata, and the point that I do think that he is – emblematic of that locker room. Like, I think, again, we saw Jalen Hurts lock screen. You don't think that's sticking with him?
No, it matters. It matters.
I think that they are going to, again, and I'm not saying the Chiefs, it doesn't matter for them, but I mean, like, we just talked about it.
It just doesn't matter as much.
Travis Kelce's off gallivanting
for
in
sure.
Argentina
100%.
And, like, the Eagles are like, we have to, your most 1, 2, 3. We have to fucking beat the Chiefs. Like, that is what it feels. We have to fucking beat these guys.
Well,
that's what it feels like, and I just think it's going to matter more.
Do you want them to feel
that way?
Tuck. Do you want them to feel that way?
Yeah, I want them to. I think I do want motivation. Yeah,
do you feel like beating the Chiefs would help you in your recovery from the Super Bowl? Like, if the Eagles beat the Chiefs, does it validate the field and the flag? No.
I get what you're saying, but no, it's the Super Bowl versus not. If we beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, then yes. But no, I'm still crushed, and my soul will never recover unless we beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl.
So I do think if the Chiefs,
but I think it'd be nice
if the Chiefs beat the Eagles on Monday. I think it is a dent in the armor of the field and flag
Kansas City.
argument. No, I know.
It's a road game.
I know. I'm just saying.
You can't say that. It's not a neutral field game like this.
It's not. Agreed. But I think the Eagles and the Chiefs are really, really
do
close.
Better.
I think they're really, really close.
Do better.
And the
Where's
Chiefs,
the game?
The Chiefs might be better.
Is the game here? Is it a neutral site?
Look, it matters. It's in Kansas City. I agree. Like, that is an advantage for the Chiefs. It is an advantage. I agree with that. The Eagles. So I did my power rankings, and the Eagles are number 1, and I think they deserve number 1. But if the Chiefs beat them, the Chiefs hold the claim to the best team in the NFL.
Of course, the Chiefs should be the number.
Yes,
okay. But absolutely.
Like, this isn't like it's just like
this game
the
is
Chiefs
for
are
the who's the best team in the NFL title
100%.
right now. No doubt.
I also think this game could decide MVP.
I think it will.
If Jalen Hurts goes into
really,
Kansas City,
Elliot, that's a great freaking
Thank
point.
you.
Yeah.
If Jalen Hurts goes into Kansas City and beats Patrick Mahomes, he deserves. And look, I guess there's still ever many games to be played. Jalen, I
guess there's still a season left, but
my point is, if Jalen beats the Chiefs and he gets the 1 seed,
he
is the MVP. Like, not Lamar, not Patrick Mahomes, not.
Yeah. By the way, where's Lamar? Where's the Ravens? Oh, best team in football.
Well, here's the other thing.
Shocker, they lost.
Here's the other thing I realized.
It's hard to win in the NFL. I'm just saying.
First of all, the Eagles will definitely beat the Ravens if they play. But I think one thing the Eagles have going for them is the Ravens and the Niners are 2 teams that rely on running the football, and the Eagles are really good at running the football.
The best, yeah. And
do you want to guess where the Ravens are in pass attempts per game? Keep in mind they have an MVP candidate at quarterback.
Yeah, I would guess they're towards the bottom of the league, right?
Dead last.
Yeah, exactly.
The Niners are like 20. Now the Eagles are 24th, which I was surprised by.
That is surprising, actually.
But the Niners are also, I think, in the bottom 3. Like, those teams don't throw the ball, and the Eagles stop the run. So I think
better than anyone in the NFL.
Which is
like, teams don't even throw the ball. Teams don't even try to run on the Eagles anymore.
Yeah, it is always weird. The bye week throws things off. Like, the Eagles are like 6 now in run defense.
Well, because teams have played more games than other games.
Yeah, but anyway, I don't think the Ravens are legit, and that's why I don't really fear the Niners. Like, I don't think Brock.
Well, I think the Niners are better than the Ravens, personally.
I would rather play. I'd rather
play the Ravens.
But Lamar is so much better than Brock Purdy.
He is, but.
Like, Lamar will make plays against the Eagles.
I don't know what it is about the Ravens. They just don't scare me.
They don't scare me either. But the Niners certified don't scare me. I'm not scared of the Niners.
No, I'm not scared.
They played better this week than I thought.
I think, again, I'll go back to what I said before. I think the Niners' best game, like their elite, everything firing on all cylinders, is as good as anyone. Like, I think they're one of the teams.
The Niners, you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Whereas I think the Ravens' best game is below the Niners' best game.
I agree with that, but I think ultimately what the playoffs are going to come down to is, like, which quarterbacks makes more special plays.
You're so simple with the way you do it. It's always that.
It's kind of a good way just to pick games. But
it doesn't always.
Not always, but most of the time. And it's just like, would you rather play Lamar Jackson or Brock Purdy?
Well, Brock Purdy, obviously.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, right? I bet you would. All right, let's talk Lions real quick, because we haven't really talked much. We talked so much about the Cowboys and the Niners all season long, really. It's always been like those 3 teams, and like the Lions are there.
I think the Lions are very good.
I don't think they're as good, but I certainly think the Lions could win a shootout with anyone, and we just saw that.
The Lions have a good offensive line.
Score with anyone. Like the Eagles, I think the Eagles would beat Detroit, and they should be favored against them. But do I think the Lions on a given day could outscore the Eagles? Yeah, I think they could happen.
Well, I think they have a good quarterback. I think he's better than Brock Purdy.
I said it last pod. He's like top 7 in the league this year.
I think
he's absolutely better than Brock
I think Dan Campbell's a better coach than Kyle Shanahan.
I agree with that.
And I think that they have
a full circle moment. We've come full circle here.
Yes, there it is.
There it is.
Nicely done.
Dan Campbell, just being a big Dan Campbell.
I just think the Lions would.
I love it.
I think
it makes my heart so happy.
I think the Lions would die trying to win that game, and I think the Niners will fold.
Those
are the biggest difference I can say.
Die to win games.
Yes,
I think that is, and also they're aggressive. I mean, you want to talk? You were Siri. I'd be aggressive. I mean, Dan Campbell goes on every fourth down. It's unbelievable. The guy literally just. It was like 4th and 5, and they ran it and got it. I was like, what the hell are you doing?
I have like. Actually, here's a quick take. I think the Lions are what everyone thought the Giants were in a way last year, where it's like, oh, this could be tricky, and it was like, no, it won't be.
Yeah, the
Lions will be tricky. Like, I have no interest in playing. I have no interest in playing the Lions.
I don't think their defense is good, but I think their defensive line is good.
Yes, and they have really good lines. Their offensive line is very good.
They have great lines.
They have good running backs. They have good receivers. They have a quarterback that's won in the playoffs. They have an offensive coordinator that might be.
And they have real weapons on it. Like Jahmyr Gibbs obviously jumps off the screen.
Yeah, Jameson Williams, Amon St. Brown.
Ron St. Brown is one of the 3 or 4 best receivers in football right now. And Laporta's the best rookie tight end forever. Have you watched this kid?
He's unbelievable.
Like, this kid's awesome.
Yes.
He is a weapon. Like, they have real weapons, and Goff's good, and the line's good. They're not easy.
I agree. That's why the Lions to me are number 2 in the NFC. Like, I would not want to play the Lions. The Cowboys are still like, I wouldn't have interest in playing them, but I think the Lions would be like, they would beat them, but it would be not a fun 4 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I think the Eagles would probably go into that game more than a field goal favorite, but I think that would be it would be a game that everyone's like, they're going to win, but then the whole time you'd be like, oh, why are they not winning by more? Like, I can't believe they're losing by 3 at halftime. Like, I think the Lions would not be fun.
All right. You got to get out of here.
Yes.
We'll be back on Thursday. Parks Picks Pod. We'll talk some Eagles,
we'll do Chiefs
too, a little bit of that too, but we'll go through every game on the slate then as well. Final thoughts.
I am so over FaceTiming. So
I was never in on it.
You were never in on it.
I will only do it for like family with Zoe.
Yeah.
Where it's like my mom wants to see Zoe, sure.
I think there's
that's it.
A lot of things we started to do during the pandemic that we can go back to pre-pandemic things. Like Zooms are fun. We can do like phone calls again. FaceTimes, not fun. I'd rather just talk to you on the phone or frankly just text. Like, I think in general, this idea of having to see somebody when you talk to them, I think is overrated. You can just talk to them and hear them.
Preach, buddy. I agree. I think there's real advantages to it, obviously. And again, like in the thing I just said, if a parent is away from their kid for a week or whatever, being able to see your kid is a real beautiful thing, and I'm all about that. But I pretty much totally agree with you. I have 3 what I should go with. I'll save Zoe for later. I'm going to go with a hot take. I'm going to go with a recommendation, and then I'll get my movie hot take on the Bet Parks Pod. So it's something for people to look forward to. My recommendation is my favorite movie of 2023. The Killer. Everyone should see it on Netflix. It's the new David Fincher movie starring Michael Fassbender. It's freaking awesome.
All right.
Like this, it's 2 hours of just awesome. It's only 2 hours long, which
we're
is
looking
nice.
for a movie to watch. So
The Killer.
The Killer.
It's just a great movie. It's about a hitman.
I will check it out.
It's phenomenal.
I'd be surprised if Kristen wants to watch it, but I will
David
give
Fincher
it a shot.
made Seven and Fight Club, and so
okay.
He's like one of the great living directors. You're
I
a
will
big
maybe
directors
watch it.
matter actor.
Yeah, it's a good point. They do matter more than the actors. So. Only not when I pick a movie. But yeah.
Well, so you're a hypocrite, is what you're saying.
Yeah,
that's good.
Obviously.
All right, Elliott's got to go. We'll be back on Thursday with the Bet Parks Pod. Talk some more Eagles Chiefs.
Boom.
Until then, he's Item James.